County building. I'm a journalist working on a story on the building and just taking a couple of video of the place and going to the clerks, filing some FOIL request, and be on my way.
In this clip from a YouTube channel, a citizen encounters two sheriff's deputies inside a county building. The citizen refuses to provide identification when asked, asserting that it would violate their Fourth Amendment rights. The deputies insist that signing in and providing identification is a requirement to enter the public building.
Erie County?
That's why I signed in as I'm Erie County.
Name or you can leave.
No thank you, sir.
Yes, that's the rule.
It's a violation of the Fourth Amendment to violate
it's
the
not.
Fourth Amendment.
You have to sign in. You have to use your
I
correct
did
name.
sign in.
Your last name is not Erie County. Then show me your ID.
I'm here working as Erie County.
If your last name is Erie County, then you could stay. Come on,
No,
let's go.
I'm not leaving.
The citizen argues that he is being asked to sign in and show identification without reasonable suspicion of a crime, and that's a Fourth Amendment violation.
Do
We
you
don't
want
have time to do what
Come
you're
on, Dan.
doing.
Let's
Go
go.
ahead. I'm
Let's
not
go.
doing anything.
Let's
Do
go.
not
Let's
touch
go.
me. Do not touch me.
They call for a supervisor to come and educate the deputies about the law. The encounter escalates as the citizen questions the deputies' knowledge of the Constitution and their understanding of civil rights.
These guys are violating my First Amendment rights and Fourth Amendment rights. They're impeding my traffic. They're causing illegal detention. They're refusing to put their body cameras on while they're violating my rights. I'm just trying to go to the county clerk's office and record my interactions, which is perfectly legal. You need to explain to them the freedom of the press, First Amendment, in public places.
Despite the citizens' attempts to assert their rights, the deputies persist in their demands for identification. The situation becomes tense as the deputies physically restrain the citizen, leading to accusations of assault and battery. The citizens remain steadfast, advocating for their freedom of the press and the right to document their experience in a public space.
Get ready to do some paperwork.
You're free to leave.
Oh, free to leave, free to stay.
That way.
Free to leave, free to go, free to stay. That's the way it works, guys. If I'm not being trespassed because I'm not doing anything illegal, you guys cannot impede my traffic.
Well, you didn't sign in.
I did sign in. Do you understand that?
No, you didn't.
I signed in. And you guys are going to know very, very, very well. You, especially you. You are going to know who I am very well by the time this is over, my friend. You too. You ignorant sons of... This is what we pay for, guys. These are the sheriffs down here. They just think they can detain people willy-nilly, ID people on demand to be inside of a public building.
What are you, one of these sovereign citizen types?
No, I don't have a badge like that. Those are the sovereign citizens. They can violate people's rights and get away with it and have these big stupid smiles on their faces and shit. Yeah, those are the real sovereign. Look at her. She knows that's a sovereign citizenship. Look at that smile. She can't even hide it. That's real sovereign citizenship right there.
Eventually, the sheriff arrives at the scene. The citizen expresses their concerns about the violation of their civil rights, including the deputy's demand for identification and the refusal of service at the county clerk's office. The sheriff defends the deputy's actions, stating that the situation is being addressed.
How are you, sir?
You're the sheriff of the county?
I am.
This deputy and that deputy is violating my civil rights. They are also put their hands on me and assaulted me or battered me unlawfully because they do not have a lawful command to tell me to turn my camera off in this public space. You know that as a sheriff. I'm here to document my experience, and these guys are stopping me, causing illegal detention on my rights.
It doesn't look like you're being detained to me.
All right, thank you.
However, the citizen continues to argue that their rights have been violated.
You are violating the First Amendment rights and refusing service down here. That's all I want to know. You say yes?
Why don't we get a hold of the clerk's office and see if they want to see it?
Do the clerks have a choice who they get to see and don't get to see?
So,
When did that law come into
actually,
effect?
they're down there talking to her right now.
I understand, but why is this door locked, Sheriff?
It's locked.
Why?
So,
Sheriff, why is this door locked?
if they're gonna,
If they're going to allow public services to public, what is going on here? You guys are violating my rights.
there's no rights being violated.
There's no rights being violated? I can't go to the county clerk's office because of why?
I'm
Because
sure
of the
you'll be able
camera?
to get there at some point.
When you educate your officers about my First and Fourth Amendment rights, they think they can get ID out of me to come into a public building. Do you agree with that, Sheriff? Sheriff, do you have to show ID to get into this public building? Do you have to show your driver's license?
You have to write your name down.
I did write my name down there, who I am.
Throughout the clip, the deputies display a lack of knowledge about constitutional rights and demonstrate a dismissive attitude towards the citizens' concerns. The encounter sheds light on the need for better education and training within law enforcement regarding citizens' rights and the importance of respecting those rights during interactions. The clip concludes with the announcement that the sheriff involved is retired and the failure of the department in handling the situation was exposed in local news coverage. The citizens' resilience in standing up to harassment and bullying is commended, and the clip serves as a reminder of the significance of holding law enforcement accountable for their actions. In the incident, Anthony X, a knowledgeable individual, engaged in a confrontation with patrol officers who approached him while he was recording in a public area.
Am I detained?
You're detained for reasonable suspicion right now, okay?
Of what crimes? Is that a misdemeanor or felony?
I believe it's a misdemeanor right now.
Anthony X asserted his rights and cited California Penal Code 148G and the Tom Bain Civil Rights Act to emphasize that his filming activities were protected by law.
The camera walking around, you have no right to detain me. Just so you know, if you interfere with my activity in any way, shape, or form, you will be in violation of California Penal Code 148.G and the Tom Bain California Act, which you can use your qualified immunity. I will sue you personally. 152.2 subsection B. Think your words wisely. Once again, am I free to go? Am I free to go?
He firmly stated that the officers had no right to detain him and warned them about potential legal consequences for interfering with his constitutional rights. After asserting his freedom to go, the officers acknowledged that he was not being detained.
It's public. I've never been trespassed from this area.
Stay out the secure.
I've never been in a secured area.
Stay out the secure airport property.
All right, do me a favor, and I'm open to a cordial conversation. Since I'm not detained at this moment, I have no problem.
You're free to go.
At this point, no, I'm just curious.
Nope.
So,
There's no detention. All right.
okay, so I'd like the incident number, please. I will be doing a FOIA request on all information and body cam.
Anthony X requested the incident number and expressed his intention to submit a Freedom of Information Act request for all relevant information and body camera footage. The incident highlighted the importance of citizens' awareness of their rights and holding law enforcement accountable for respecting those rights.
Sorry?
That's not the way this goes. Who are you?
I'm Sergeant Barry Antis, Fort Wayne Police Department. How are you?
Good.
What's your name?
I didn't give it.
I know. I want to know what your name is.
I don't care what you want.
Well,
that's not the policy.
The Secret Service.
I don't care. Then why don't they come out here and talk to me?
They will in a moment.
Okay, go ahead. Am I being detained?
What's your name?
Am I being detained?
What is your name?
Am I being detained?
Throughout the interaction, the citizen emphasized his rights and challenged the officers to justify their actions. He adamantly refused to comply with their demands, aware that his rights were being infringed upon. The citizen recognized the importance of knowledge about local laws and confidently navigated the situation using legal citations to support his arguments.
Nope.
All right, stop.
No. Am I being detained?
Yes, you are being
Am
detained.
I being detained?
Identify who you are.
That's not the way this goes.
Well, I don't care what you say.
Okay. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. I'm not.
Sir,
no.
The Secret Service has
I don't
asked
care.
us to identify
I don't
you.
care what they want.
Okay.
That's not the way this goes.
I understand that.
Show me the law.
The incident shed light on the issue surrounding law enforcement officers' reliance on ID requests without reasonable cause. The citizen demonstrated the significance of understanding one's rights and the laws governing such encounters. By standing his ground and refusing to provide identification when it was not required by law, he effectively challenged the officer's authority and highlighted their lack of legal justification. This citizen's actions underscore the importance of citizens being informed about their rights and the laws governing law enforcement encounters. His knowledge and assertiveness in the face of an overzealous response from the officers served as a powerful reminder of the need for accountability and adherence to proper protocols and law enforcement practices.
Saying y'all can't sell.
I don't want to be filmed, so I'm going to ask you to leave.
Hours later.
How you doing?
She kind of filled me in on what was going on. Did she explain to you that they can't sell baby formula once they return it?
After she already did.
Okay, it's time to go.
So if it's
and you're
against the
banned
law,
from here. They don't want you back in here.
okay.
So if you come back, what's your name?
You don't need my name.
Oh yeah, I do.
You sure you know the law?
Yes, sir. I think I know the law.
Okay.
In this incident, a citizen engaged in a heated encounter with two police officers over his refusal to provide his identification. The encounter began when the officers approached the individual and asked for his name. The citizen, asserting his knowledge of the law, questioned the officer's authority to request his identification without reasonable cause.
So what's happened? I really don't want to talk about it now because you.
That's fine.
You
I've been what?
breaking my constitutional rights, sir.
Oh, I am. Okay.
I promise you are.
Okay.
But just like you don't
Haven't
want to
broken
explain to
your
me, I'm not going to
constitutional
teach you. You should already know these things. So
The younger officer, seemingly more informed about citizens' rights, attempted to explain to the older officer why the individual was not legally obligated to provide his name.
They'll try to get you to put your hands on them. They'll try to get you to put
touched
them in
him.
custody. I know, Pete. Just listen.
But if he called it a disturbance,
I understand completely. But their goal
get
is
his name,
they want
check
to
him for
sue.
warrant.
no,
Their
you're
goal
breaking
is-
my constitutional rights
goal is they
by
want to
threatening
sue.
to take me to jail for not giving you my name when I haven't committed a crime.
The citizen expressed his frustration with the older officer for attempting to infringe upon his constitutional rights and accusing him of breaking the law.
You're the one wanting to cause trouble, not me.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I would have just left. But you thought I ain't know what I was talking about. You thought you was just gonna break my constitutional
They wanted
rights.
you gone. I want to ban you. I want to run your
That's
ID.
fine.
and
I
check you
ain't
for
broke a law
warrants
though.
and then let you go.
I ain't
But
broke.
since now you want to stay and you want to wait for my supervisor to come and talk to you, we gonna stay here and we're gonna wait on him.
He gonna come talk to you.
Okay.
He ain't
All right.
coming to talk to me,
He
buddy.
gonna talk to you.
All right.
The younger officer acknowledged the citizen's concerns and emphasized the importance of de-escalation. As the conversation unfolded, the older officer initially insisted that the citizen was being detained and would have to wait for a supervisor. However, once the younger officer clarified that the citizen was not required to show his ID, the older officer changed his stance and expressed a desire to leave. The citizen pointed out the inconsistency in the officer's behavior, highlighting how the officer had initially claimed he was being detained but now was ready to depart.
He came in and barged in on me like I don't know my rights and I ain't got none at all. So
But you know,
Ask him your name.
there's constitutional rights, there's federal law, and then you got state laws
nothing
too, right?
trumps those constitutional rights, sir. Nothing.
Okay.
You should know that.
Okay.
Just in case you have to, just in
I got
case you lose your badge,
I got you.
you should understand that your constitutional rights.
Hey, if you got
That's
me
top
here,
dog, buddy.
you got me here, you got me here. But guess
But
what?
you've been nice, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. I promise, man.
So
Good
can I-
energy,
Can
man.
I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Have
I been ugly?
Have you got any money yet
Any money?
Yeah.
Plenty.
from suing?
Nah, I don't need to do that.
So
I
you
have
have
been nice
Nah,
to you?
I don't need
Okay,
to-
how was I not nice
I
to you?
asked him, man. I
Did I
didn't.
ask you your name?
Hey, it's all good.
I-
I'm
nah.
not worried about it. Peace.
Ask him. He told me I was resisting arrest in front of all
Never
these,
told you that.
in front of all these people in
You
Walmart,
said,
as if
"Why
I'm a
do I
criminal,
have to give
man.
your name?" I
All
said,
right,
"Because
man. Come on, man.
you
But did you not tell me I had to give you my name?
Huh?
Did you not tell me I had to give you
Well,
my
I said
name?
you needed
So
to.
here's
No,
what
you
I'm
said
gonna
you had to
Yeah,
give me.
here's what
I
I'm
had
gonna
to
teach
give you my
do.
name.
It's hot. I'm gonna sit in my beautiful AC car.
Man, you
while we
blessed,
wait on
man.
my
I
supervisor.
got to stand out here and wait on the supervisor, man. It is hot.
The conversation continued with discussions about constitutional rights and the role of law enforcement in protecting the public. The citizen asserted that his constitutional rights were more significant than any potential disturbance at a Walmart store, referencing his right to privacy and freedom from unwarranted searches or detentions. The officers defended their actions, citing a disturbance at the store as the reason for their inquiry.
Because I got stuff I got to do, but you got me
No,
detained now.
well-
So we got each other detained.
Well, you should have
He's on his
came
way.
in.
And you talk to him, and then I'm out of here.
You should have came with a de-escalating spirit and not the one you in.
Okay. Okay.
Get me on
You're
camera.
here, too.
Unlawful detainment for what? For what?
All the disturbance in Walmart.
I ain't caused no disturbance. I was as quiet as I was as
wasn't
quiet
here,
as a
but
mouse
that's what
standing
they
right
called
there.
us. When you look on my call,
It's on camera.
the signal on the call says a 25, which is a disturbance.
Does that camera lie? Neither does mine.
That's right.
You
But I
understand?
wasn't here when the disturbance was going on.
You didn't care to
Did
be
their
here. You
cameras
could have got
lie?
my
Because
side.
they probably have cameras on the whole
You could have
thing.
got my side.
Tried to.
No, you didn't.
But you just want to
It's
talk
on
about
camera.
constitutional rights,
Right.
and you want to talk about pot stirring stuff because you're trying to stir a
My
pot.
constitutional rights is more important than you trespassing me from Walmart for something you ain't even discussed amongst us.
Yeah.
This
I
is a
just
private.
asked you what your name was.
This is a private owned
I
business.
asked you what your name
I'm the
was.
public.
How is it wrong for me
I'll
to
pay
ask
you.
what your name is?
I'll pay you.
How is it
I
wrong?
live right around the corner. You just
I
ran
wear
my name.
on here.
You
How-
just ran
how
my
is it
name.
wrong
I'll
for me
pay
to
my
ask you?
taxes that pay you.
Throughout the interaction, tensions escalated, with the citizen becoming increasingly frustrated with what he perceived as a violation of his rights. The encounter concluded with the arrival of a supervisor who took over the situation. The citizen expressed his desire to have his side of the story heard, but the conversation reached an impasse as the officers maintained their position.
For Presley, badge number is 1679.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
He just broke
He
my
wanted to talk to
constitutional
you.
right.
Okay. The hell's that?
Under the threat of arrest, he told me I had to give him my name and I hadn't broken the law.
Well,
I just want you to explain to him that
The incident raises questions about the officer's understanding of citizens' rights and their handling of the situation. The citizen argued that his rights were being violated, while the officers defended their actions based on the reported disturbance. The encounter highlights the need for better training and awareness of constitutional rights among law enforcement personnel to ensure the citizens' rights are respected and protected during interactions with police. During a routine traffic stop in Coronado, California, the man is confronted by the police for allegedly violating the California Vehicle Code. The officer singles out the GoPro camera mounted on his helmet as the reason for the stop, initiating a contentious debate over the interpretation and application of the law.
It's an infraction. It's a moving violation. You can't have anything on your helmet. It compromises the integrity. Can I have the information I asked you for, please?
Actually, sir, I mean, the fact that you pulled me over for a traffic violation of a GoPro on the top of my helmet, which is for my safety, it's kind of ridiculous. I will not be consenting to anything. So
Okay,
if you need to get a sergeant out here, that'd be great. But
What's your name?
did I commit a crime?
I've stopped you for a traffic violation.
Okay.
I've asked you for your information. You're refusing to give it to me.
I'm not refusing to give it to you. It's just I did not commit a crime. And you pulled me over for a GoPro on my helmet,
And it's a traffic violation.
which is for my safety.
Okay. Do you understand what I stopped
What's
you
your name and badge number? Bliss, what's your badge number?
for? You answer my...
Asserting his Fourth Amendment rights, the man engages in a heated argument with the police, refusing to provide his identification. He maintains that he has not committed a crime and questions the legality of the officer's actions.
And in fact, it's the stupidest thing you pull me over for is that freaking camera.
Is speeding a crime?
A camera
Is
on
speeding
my
Is
helmet.
speeding a crime?
A camera on my helmet, sir.
Answer my question. Speeding a
I'm
crime?
not answering any more questions. I'd like to speak to my lawyer.
Can I have your information, please?
You can get your sergeant.
Sit tight. I just want to let you know that I'm also recording this stop.
Of course
and
you
I've
are.
asked you numerous times for your information and refusing to do so.
I'm not refusing. If I committed a crime, I would absolutely give you my ID.
All right. You've been stopped for a traffic violation,
I got stopped for a GoPro on my helmet.
and I've told you it's a traffic violation.
That's a bullshit violation. So go ahead and get your sergeant here.
Okay, I've told you it's a violation, so you're still refusing to produce your information.
If
when you've been
you can
informed that you
articulate a crime that I have committed, I will ID. Until then, I do not have to ID. And in fact, this is a violation of my Fourth Amendment right, and I am now invoking Title 18, Section 242, deprivation of rights under color of law. If you do one more movement without getting your sergeant here, you're fucked.
Did you hear me?
Did you hear me? Get your sergeant here. I'm done speaking to you. I told you I am done talking. I am now invoking my Fifth Amendment right to stay silent.
If
Thank
you
you.
fail to produce your information,
Then what? You're going to arrest
in
me?
jeopardy of being
So that'd
placed
be
under
kidnapping.
arrest.
And I already invoked Title 18, Section 242.
How is that kidnapping?
You'll find that out in court, sir.
You're failing to identify
You'll
to
find that
myself.
out in
Are
court.
you familiar with?
Are you getting your sergeant?
Are you familiar with Section Penal Code
Are
148?
you not listening to a lawful order?
Are you listening to
Call
my
your
lawful order?
sergeant.
Invoking Title 18, Section 242, the man points out the potential degradation of rights under the color of law, emphasizing his knowledge of legal statutes. In addition, he exercises his Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, further reinforcing his stance against self-incrimination. The encounter intensifies as legal principles clash with law enforcement's demands for identification.
He literally pulled me over for this.
You Cody Shear?
Mind your own business.
Are you Cody Shear?
I am not answering questions. I don't answer questions.
Wow, this cop is a piece of shit. Not only is he harassing this man, he's out here blatantly saying his name. If that even is his name, he's just throwing out someone's information like that. This cop's a grade A piece of shit.
Hey Cody, if he issues you a citation, are you gonna sign it?
If he issues me a citation,
Correct.
he could take that and wipe his ass with it.
Why are you being so...
Because he pulled me over for a fucking GoPro on my helmet.
Okay.
Okay? Is that a crime?
If it's in the vehicle code, then yes, it is.
Is it a crime? Do you know what a crime is?
Yes, I know what a crime is. If
Okay.
it's in the vehicle code, then it's a crime.
So just tell me what the difference between a crime and an infraction is.
An infraction is a crime, yes.
Okay, so is this a misdemeanor or a felony?
I don't know. It's definitely not a felony.
Well, I know that, but is it a misdemeanor or a felony?
It's
Neither one.
It's most likely not a
Either one.
misdemeanor too.
Okay.
But I don't.
So I don't need I don't need an ID for a non-crime.
The other cop comes to the guy and asks him to provide his ID, where he asks the cop really politely if this is a crime and that he has a cam on his helmet, where the guy refused to give his ID to the cops.
How's it going, Lee?
Morning, sir. How are you?
Morning.
So what's going on?
So it was a great day.
Okay.
Okay, I was just out enjoying my day, and I got pulled over for having a GoPro on my helmet.
Okay.
Okay, and so I let Bliss know that, this is a violation of my Fourth Amendment right. The fact that I was just traveling, I was following all the rules and laws of the road and traffic safety and nothing. And then he gets behind me and pulls me over for a GoPro and tries to tell me that that's a violation of whatever code. What safety code? What does it even matter? What if I had a fin on my helmet? What if I put my visor up? Is that now a violation of the traffic code? Like, look how close my visor is being as high as my GoPro. What violation, what crime have I committed? Please tell me.
Okay, so you're in violation of the California Vehicle Code, which says you can't have that mounted on your helmet.
Okay, so can you
It's as
tell me
simple
what
as
code that is?
Pardon?
What code is that?
Pardon? I don't know what code is.
Okay, look that up and also tell me what crime I committed.
Regardless, it's an infraction.
Okay.
It's like speeding.
And I'll see him in court.
Correct.
Absolutely. And it's
your
going to be a fun day in court. Make sure you're ready for a full day, buddy.
Right, and we need your information.
A discussion unfolds between the man and sergeant who arrives at the scene. The man asserts his rights and questions the legality of being pulled over for having a GoPro on his helmet. Tensions rise as they debate the need for identification and potential consequences.
Are you threatening me with arrest?
I want to know whether you're going to provide us with your
arrest
identification so he can fill out his citation, so then we can give you a summons to go to court, so then you can come to court and then talk to the judge.
You know how easy it is for him to just put his tail between his legs and say, take that off your helmet?
Pardon?
Why couldn't he have said, if that's such a violation, why couldn't he have just asked me to take it off?
Well, he would have.
No, he didn't. He could have. He walked up. He wanted my ID so he can give me a ticket.
Your ID, so
right.
How do you know he's going to give you a ticket?
Because he asked for my ID.
How do you know he's going to give you a ticket?
It doesn't matter. I mean,
so you're making an
listen,
assumption
so
because
listen,
he
here,
asked
look,
for an ID
right here,
that you're going to get a ticket.
Right
correct?
here. Don't be grabbing, and you're getting too close to my personal stuff. Right here is my ID.
Okay.
Okay. Am I being threatened with an arrest because I put a GoPro for my safety on my helmet and got pulled over by a...
The man firmly asserts his belief that he is not obligated to provide his identification unless he has committed a crime. He challenges the sergeant, accusing him of violating constitutional rights and asserting that law enforcement officers are merely public servants. He provided the cop with the ID.
You asked for one thing, you got one thing, that's all you're getting. And to this, I speak to my lawyer.
Well, I'm not a party to this. I was just throwing it out there,
okay.
just to throw it out there.
Tensions escalate as both parties exchange harsh words, with the man displaying a distrust of the officer and expressing his intention to expose alleged misconduct. The encounter concludes with the man receiving a citation and preparing for a legal battle, vowing to challenge the actions of the officer and seeking accountability for what he perceives as a violation of his rights.